Hello, BBN. If anyone knows what it's like to have a blue blood, it's Zvonimir Ivisic, who helped Andrija Jelavic prepare for life in Kentucky. Let's check out more news. Andrija Jelavic's arrival at Kentucky basketball is a story that goes beyond the four lines of the court and intertwines with cultural ties, tradition, and the direct impact of those who have been with the program. The Croatian power forward, a recent arrival to the Wildcats, not only brought his 6 feet 2 inches height and technical prowess to Lexington, but also brought with him valuable experience. The experience shared by Zvonimir Ivisic, his compatriot and former Kentucky player. The relationship between the two European athletes proved to be a significant chapter in Jelavic's transition to American college basketball, reinforcing the essential role that figures like Ivisic can play in the mental and emotional preparation of young talent. When Jelavic received a call from Wildcats coach Mark Pope, he immediately knew something special was at stake. For him, Kentucky has always been more than just a university. It's a globally recognized name, synonymous with excellence in college basketball. Even someone unfamiliar with the NCAA recognizes the Wildcats' legacy. National championships, NBA draftees, and stars who shine both on and off the court. However, what truly sealed his decision wasn't just a Kentucky brand, but the clear and direct vision Pope presented. When the coach said that Jelavic really fit the style of play of the team, the Croatian player felt immediately at ease. It was a simple, quick, yet decisive conversation, a perfect example of how timing and the right approach can change the course of a career. However, there's another central figure in this story worth highlighting: Zvonimir Ivisic. He not only paved the way for Jelavic, but also served as sort of informal mentor as the young man adjusted to his new environment. Ivisic, who wore the Wildcats' blue and white uniform in the 2023-24 season, was the first Croatian player to join a program as iconic as Kentucky's. His time with the team, though marked by ups and downs, was unforgettable for fans. From his impressive debut against Georgia to his charismatic interactions with fans and teammates, Ivisic left a mark on the hearts of the Lexington community. And now, even though he's moved on to other destinations like Arkansas and Illinois, he continues to harbor a special affection for Kentucky, something he's passed on directly to Jelavic. Ivisic's influence was crucial for Jelavic from the start. When the power forward began seriously considering playing the NCAA, it was Ivisic who served as his cultural and athletic touchstone. The two maintained constant contact, discussing the peculiarities of college life in the United States, the challenges of competitive basketball, and even practical details like what to expect from the local food. Yes, food. One of the most memorable pieces of advice Ivisic gave Jelavic was to avoid Papa John's pizza at all costs. Reportedly, the veteran struggled in the first few weeks of his adjustment due to an unfortunate food choice, and he didn't want his compatriot to make the same mistake. This kind of practical guidance, coupled with conversations about the weight of Kentucky's tradition and the importance of enjoying every moment at the university, demonstrates how deeply Ivisic invested in Jelavic's transition. Furthermore, the connection between the two goes beyond the logistical or technical aspects. Jelavic closely observed Ivisic's journey at Kentucky, from eligibility issues to his standout moments on the court. He saw how his Croatian teammate handled adversity, how he turned challenges into opportunities, and how he earned the respect of fans with his engaging personality. These lessons were invaluable to Jelavic, who now follows in Ivisic's footsteps with renewed confidence. It's no surprise that after officially committing to the Wildcats, Jelavic received a direct message from Ivisic. "You're going to have a great time there." A simple phrase, yet loaded with meaning, coming from someone who truly understands the value of experience. Ivisic's impact isn't limited to Jelavic alone. He represents a vital link between the Kentucky program and the growing number of European players who consider the NCAA a springboard for their professional careers. His presence on the team demonstrated that players from diverse cultural backgrounds can thrive in a highly competitive and traditional environment like Kentucky's. And now, with Jelavic following this path, it's clear that Ivisic legacy is far from forgotten. For Mark Pope, having a player like Jelavic, shaped in part by Ivisic's wisdom, is a gift for the program's future. The coach has consistently emphasized the importance of creating an inclusive and adaptable environment where athletes from diverse backgrounds can feel a home. Let's move forward. Mark Pope continues to redefine the meaning of preseason in Lexington. In his second year at the helm of Kentucky basketball, the coach has transformed the month of October into a veritable competitive laboratory. Forget the traditional friendly matches against Division II teams. The new Kentucky will face off against Purdue and Georgetown, two powerful programs that offer more than just pace. They provide a benchmark. This change is possible thanks to a new NCAA guideline, which now allows exhibitions between Division I teams. And Pope, attentive to detail and passionate about challenges, was one of the first to take advantage of the new rule. Instead of hiding in comfortable games, he decided to put his team to the test against the nation's #1 team, Matt Painter's Boilermakers, and against a rebuilding Georgetown under Ed Cooley, both programs that represent distinct but equally demanding styles. "This will test us before the season even starts," said Pope, with the enthusiasm of someone who sees difficulties as the raw material for evolution. "We need this. It gives us great data to grow, figure things out, and challenge ourselves. I love it. I'm very grateful." The excitement is not exaggerated. The matchup with Purdue, scheduled for October 24th at Rupp Arena, is one of the most anticipated exhibition games in the modern era of college basketball. It's not every day that a top 10 team faces a preseason #1 seed before the ball is even officially in the air. Purdue arrives with a solid roster, led by Braden Smith, a National Player of the Year contender, and All-American power forward Trey Kaufman-Renn. Matt Painter's team combines maturity with a fluid offensive system, and it's precisely this well-oiled system that Pope wants to face. Matt is probably, if not the best coach in the country, he's one of them, Pope acknowledged. He's created a unique, relevant, and incredible culture. So the fact that we can start like this and then follow it up with Ed Cooley, who is simply an elite coach, I can't think of a better way to prepare. This statement sums up the spirit Pope is trying to instill at Kentucky: competitive ambition and a sense of purpose. There's no room for comfort zones. Since taking over the program, the coach has rebuilt the squad with a focus on defense and collective identity, two areas that have often been overlooked in recent years. The matchup against Purdue will be an immediate test of these new foundations, a clash of styles between a proven offensive powerhouse and a team trying to assert itself through solidity and intensity. Georgetown, the second opponent in the exhibitions, presents a different challenge. Still in the rebuilding process, Ed Cooley's team is coming off an uneven season, but showing signs of recovery. Pope sees the matchup as an opportunity to observe how his group reacts to different game dynamics, and also as a chance to gauge the players' emotional growth. The only good thing about doing this before the season starts is that you have all this time to rebuild. It's just collecting data, he explained. This clinical approach to the process is what has characterized Pope's philosophy. He talks about data, but what he's really looking for is clarity about what his team is and what it still needs to be. Exhibition games don't count toward the official record, but for the coach, they play a big role in shaping the team's mentality. There's a scientific tone to his words, but also an emotional layer. He wants to see his team under pressure, facing the elite, making mistakes, and reacting. The intense schedule and the choice of opponents reinforce what Pope has been trying to build. A Kentucky that plays with courage, that understands the weight of the jersey, but doesn't hide behind it. The coach himself has toyed with the idea of expanding the schedule to 41 games, as if seeking more opportunities to test and mold his group. "I'd like to get to 41 games now," he said with a smile, knowing that each extra game is a chance to accelerate their development. What if, by chance, Kentucky were to crush Purdue at Rupp Arena? Pope doesn't hesitate. If we beat Purdue by 30 points, I'd be like, wow. I'd go into practice and think, what happened? This Purdue team is great, right? They're an indicator of where we're trying to go. This answer, more than any other, sets the tone for his project. Mark Pope isn't looking for illusory victories. He's looking for real progress. He wants to measure his team by the highest standards, even if it means facing challenges before November. The coach understands that true growth comes from confronting excellence. In less than 2 weeks, Kentucky will face the preseason number 1 seed on its home turf. It's not just an exhibition game. It's a mirror, and Mark Pope wants to look into it without looking away. Mo Diabate's arrival at Kentucky basketball brought with it a wave of intensity, physicality, and passion that is already leaving its mark, both on the team's performance and literally on the bodies of his teammates. The incident involving Braden Hawthorne during a recent practice is a vivid example of the level of energy Diabate brings to the court. The Alabama transfer not only demonstrated his competitive aggressiveness, but also proved to be a key player for the Wildcats' future under Pope. The incident in question occurred in a seemingly routine moment, a contest for a loose ball. For many players, this type of play might be just another opportunity to demonstrate effort. For Diabate, however, it was a chance to showcase his unwavering determination. When Hawthorne, a promising freshman, tried to defend him, he didn't expect Diabate's brute force to be so overwhelming. The accidental collision between Diabate's forearm and Hawthorne's mouth resulted in a knocked-out tooth, stitches, and a trip to the emergency room. Despite the scare, Hawthorne took it all in good humor, recognizing the value of his teammates' relentless energy. This kind of intensity is nothing new to anyone who watched Diabate during his previous season at Alabama. There he distinguished himself as a tireless player, earning the Helmet Award for his numerous plays classified as workmanlike, a term used to describe plays that require extraordinary physical and mental effort. His averages of 7.2 points and 5.9 rebounds per game may seem modest, but they don't tell the whole story. It was his ability to impact the game defensively and his tenacity in contesting loose balls that caught Pope's attention and cemented his reputation as a player who never gives his opponents a second of rest. At Kentucky, Diabate seems to have found a perfect home for his relentless style of play. Coach Mark Pope has repeatedly emphasized the importance of building a culture of extreme competitiveness within the program, and few players embody this idea better than Diabate. During Media Day, Pope was full of praise for his new addition, describing him as someone who transcends conventional definitions of leadership and dedication. Mo is one of a kind, said Pope, emotionally speaking about the athlete. He highlighted Diabate's many sides: the tireless motivator, the loyal protector of his teammates, and the humble player who constantly strives to improve. This combination of characteristics makes Diabate more than just a physical player. He is a cultural catalyst for the team. His presence at practice is already raising the bar for everyone around him. As he has stated in recent interviews, his mission is to infect his teammates with his defensive energy and work ethic. He wants to not only be the most intense player on the court, but also inspire those around him to adopt the same mentality. It's exactly this kind of leadership that Kentucky needed to take the next step in its pursuit of excellence. The Hawthorne incident, while dramatic, serves as a testament to Diabate's commitment to every detail of the game. It's not just technical talent or athletic ability. It's a relentless approach that turns matches and practices into battles. This is something Mark Pope deeply values, and something Wildcats fans can expect to see in action this season. Furthermore, Diabate's human side is also worth highlighting. Pope shared a moving experience visiting Diabate's mother's apartment in the Bronx, where he had the opportunity to meet the family and understand what motivates the player. This personal connection further strengthened the bond between coach and athlete, allowing Pope to see beyond a physical athlete and see the heart and soul behind his aggressive plays. As Kentucky prepares to face the challenges of the new season, it's clear that Mo Diabate will be a key piece in Pope's puzzle. His physical style of play and competitive mindset not only elevate the team's level, but also create a collective identity based on effort, resilience, and dedication. And if there's any doubt about the impact he can make, just ask Braden Hawthorne, or look at the rookies still recovering smile. Did you hear the story? Comment